Hi, my name is Franka-Maria, and this is my new podcast called The Three Lemons. The Three Lemons is about creatives who take things that are normally plain and boring and make them into exciting, beautiful things that people can enjoy. Hi, welcome to another episode of Three Lemons, our podcast for creatives. Today I have Pearl Boateng, CEO of Traditions, a millinery company. Pearl does some amazing hats, and I'm here to just talk to her about her creative journey and how she got to where she is now. Hi, Pearl. So
Hi.
good.
How are you?
I'm good. It's good to have you. So tell me, when you were growing up, did you think that you would become a milliner? Because I know you did computer science. So how did you end up doing beautiful things like what you're wearing at the moment?
Well, I don't know how I just fell into it. It was a situation whereby in my home we had like lots of girls. So there was always dressing up, all the fancy stuff, etc. And even at school, I'd always dress up the classmates, make them up, put their hair in place, etc.
Okay.
But with the computer studies, it was at a time whereby the burst of computers had just begun. So I decided to go into that. But I think the natural flair was within. So eventually I just gradually, fell in
Ease
place
yourself out
yes,
of it.
and started.
So, did you actually study? Did you go to a special school?
Well, the interesting thing is it's like a natural talent. I don't actually, I didn't actually like study. I did a bit with one of the top milliners, the Queen Mother's milliner.
Okay.
So when I realized that I was quite good at it, I just went over and then polished up a little bit.
Okay.
But it's just a natural talent. So from then on, I've just done, I see, and then I just do.
And how long have you been running this business?
I've been doing this, I think, getting on 23 years or
Wow.
so, yeah.
What would you say some of your challenges have been?
Well, initially there wasn't much of like materials and stuff, so everything had to be imported. I had to make sure that I had everything here on ground. So if I needed to create something and I didn't have in place, that would mean either ordering and then waiting. It wasn't as efficient as now. And that was a bit of a challenge. And also it isn't a very, now it's a well sort of versed sort of skill, because I trained some people and they've also trained, and others have also sort of gotten into it themselves. So it's quite common now in Accra. But at the time that I was doing it, there was nobody, except for the older generation that were doing more old school type of hats. And therefore, it meant I didn't have the expertise, like with skilled workers to help. So everything was pretty much like on myself, yes.
Wow.
And when you did train as well, they would learn a little bit, think they're okay, and then sometimes move on, yes. Sometimes not even tell you. But those were some of the challenges the earlier time, and has been yet still.
Well, HR is always a challenge in this space, but I think we just have to keep moving. That's what I always say. We just keep moving. So tell me, what drives your creativity? Like, do you watch the royal family? What is it that will make you think of putting all these beautiful shades of green together and all the different textures? Like, what drops into your spirit when you're getting ready to be creative?
Well, I think I basically keep up with the trends. I make sure that I'm in tune with whatever's going on, because of course the trend keeps changing. Yes. It used to be hats more before, but now it's more hatinators and fascinators. So you've got to keep up with the trend. But if I decided to create something, I mean, normally it's just about, the imprints and visions that I get in my mind. I see a fabric, and then straight away I can think, I think I know what I'm going to be doing with that. And then it brings the design into, place. And then I start designing. Sometimes it's like just on impulse.
Wow.
So I just start off, and then before I know, I've created something,
Wow.
sort of different. So it's just the colors, the fabrics, the textures, you know.
Would you say your clients also drive your creative, your productivity, in the sense that if somebody came and said they wanted a hat, or a fascinator or hatinator, would you look at the person's personality? Would that also drive
Oh, definitely.
the eventual outcome?
Definitely. I mean, definitely, if someone has a kind of a stronger personality or a bigger build or whatever it is, of course, then I'll know exactly how to tone down colors, shape. Say if it's a hat, maybe the height of the crown. I'll think about all those things.
Oh, wow.
And sometimes, you have a client that will still insist, oh, I want a fascinator, even if they're like 90 or 80 years old or so. But for me personally, I'd sort of go for something more elegant, more
Traditional,
age sort of
age appropriate.
yes.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
for most people, it's about the trend.
They want to go wild.
Yeah, so if it's fascinators, then it's fascinators for
Okay.
everybody. But you've got to check age,
Yeah.
style, personality, the outfit even.
Yes.
To see if it does actually blend with.
So
whatever
would
you're
people
doing.
bring you an outfit and say, "Can you create something around this?"
That's right. That's
Wow.
exactly what I do.
Okay.
I tend to go for like colors. I mean, when I started, the whole essence was to blend the fascinators with our local kente. And that has lots of colors, hence the name Traditions.
Oh, I see.
The whole concept was to just let people understand that you could do fascinators, and then you could do the African sort of outfits as well. So most times, if it's kentes and stuff, they'll let me have like snippets or whatever it is. If it's laces, whatever, we'll have the fabric, a swatch or whatever it is, and then I work with it from there.
Oh, wow. Do you think that it's a skill? Because I think what I'm finding is that a lot of young people are not interested in these sort of skilled professions, like where they'll sit and they'll learn something for a good, like apprenticeship. That art of apprenticeship where people would stay with somebody and learn maybe how to bake bread or how to sew. What do you think in terms of the next generation of folk coming up? Like, are they interested in this sort of work?
Well, I think, like I said, the younger ones are sort of very much interested now.
Okay.
The only thing is, knowing that it's actually a thing, like you have the technique and you build on it. Now we have classes and stuff online.
Yes.
So people can go on there and just maybe learn a particular thing and then automatically say they're a milliner or whatever, and that can be a little bit of an issue, because then it will get the trade to sort of either lose its touch and finesse, because that's that technique and finish or detailing isn't sort of being looked at. That is what I worry about. But it's something that you need to actually, in the old times or whatever it is, for the lady that I sort of tutored under. She was an apprentice, something like even 14 years, she said. She started like at 14 years or so, and then she stayed on and was just working in the workroom.
Oh, wow.
And till you really mastered it, they wouldn't let you. Yes. And it could even be just needling, because everything's handmade too.
Oh, wow.
So they might just finish off the edge, and that's all they're doing for maybe 2-3 years or so. And it's just the edge.
Oh my goodness!
Yes,
so you are
perfecting
the skills.
That's right, and it's lost that touch now. But I suppose it's good to know that at least everybody understands.
Everybody understands what it's all about.
Yeah. So it's still okay.
I think it's interesting. I mean, my mom was a hat person. Like she loved hats, and one of the questions I want to ask is, and this will create a fuss, but can you wear a hat with kaba? Like I see people wearing the kaba with a hat.
The hat, yeah.
Is it?
I suppose,
is it proper? Or?
I suppose. I mean, what would we say is proper, considering that we are actually Africans. I mean, that's our our style, our culture.
So it's like a
So,
mix of
a mix kind
us
of thing.
and
yes,
a bit of the European.
Yes, and the European
Yes.
as well. So I suppose it could be done. I mean, for myself, like I said, I mean, the essence of traditions was because I felt, well, why can't I, wear kente? Yeah, incorporate the kente outfit or whatever it is. And the first show that I sort of did. I sort of wore the kente myself and put on the hat, and it was like, a hat and kente, that kind of thing also. But now it's picked up. Everybody's doing hats and like either cover, or slit or whatever it is. But it's evolved.
It's evolved.
Yes, and I mean, now kente outfits are really
they're
like more. They do like gowns and things like that.
Yes.
So I suppose we could incorporate our own fabrics, yet still, and still call it a gown.
Yes.
Or westernize it a little bit.
Yes.
Because that's our culture. So
that makes me feel better about trying that one day.
Yes.
Because I've been a bit like, I don't know if it works.
I think it should work.
It should.
It's all about being adventurous.
True, and that's what being creative is all about.
Yes, you've got to just
go out there and do it.
And do
Would you call yourself a creative?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's just inside. So I'm constantly sort of thinking. I just have to see something, and sometimes I can even see a flower or whatever it is, and it's actually not even a flower that should work in millimeter, or like a stone, like some diamante stones or something, and I'll just think, this could work.
It triggered the
yes.
creative
and I'll pick it up and keep it, and it will be there for 5 years, 10 years or so, and there will come that day when someone will come over and say, my outfit, and I'll find out that stone or that whatever it is the perfect match that sort of brings it in. So you've got to have definitely that creativity as well.
And also, I think if you love what you do, if you have a passion for it, it shows in the output. Like people will wear a hat or a fascinator that you made and actually experience the passion and the love that you've. Do you find that people come back to you and tell you how they feel in your hats, or?
Well, I've had situations whereby I have people that I've sold hats 15 years back, and they're still wearing the hats.
Wow.
And it's intact, it's perfect. They put it up on social media, and then they just refer and say, oh, this is 15 years back, and and then it feels kind of nice, and that's the whole agenda. It's so creating
you're
and
doing
making
timeless stuff.
Yeah.
You're doing classics that are enduring. Good for you.